March 28th, 2019. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 177 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
So we are recording this a week before we're actually going to release the episode because you've got a trip coming up. You're going on a big vacation here to Boston, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe you're going?
Maybe I'm going. I'm still sick.
Unbelievable.
I shouldn't be going at all.
I finally got sick this last week, but I went through it fairly quickly. I did take a day off of work. But,
I'm going on 2 months. I'm trying to set some kind of record.
All right. Well, at least you're going to be getting on a plane here to Boston and then a plane ride back. And so that
maybe
should
it's
be
not
good.
a cold. Maybe I've got, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I guess that's going around.
Can you catch that from people?
Well, no, but the coughing for long periods of time is one of the symptoms.
Okay. Well, again, welcome to the show. Hope everybody's having a good spring here. Our cold streak, speaking of colds, our cold streak is continuing at Harrah's, Southern California.
Yeah. Thanks for the new cards.
Yeah. Mike, of course, does not like the new system where they convert, the value on the dice to the cards on the table. And boy, Mike, when we went out Friday, the next day I looked, we got horrible ratings.
Yeah, it's funny because we played exactly the same way we always do.
Yeah.
And it's almost like somebody clocked us out.
I think there really was a mistake because you went a few days later and it was kind of back to normal.
Right.
Along with the new system of cards, they also have a system for keeping track of how many rolls there are per hour.
Right.
The stick man will bring the dice over this little sensor in the middle of the table every time he's about to pass the dice to the shooter. So that supposedly indicates, how many rolls there are. I think that was probably not even working. It probably was turned off.
No, they turned them off. I talked to one of the pit about that. They're not using it yet.
Oh.
Until everyone gets used to putting them in the middle.
Well, something went wrong, Mike. Honestly, I don't think we were clocked in.
Yeah, seriously. I think either they didn't clock us in and then, later in the night, oh my God, or somebody clocked us in and then clocked us out without knowing it, after just a short time.
Well, you and I have been talking about it. If it wasn't a mistake, or if it's sort of an indication of how this new system is going to eventually be, we're going to start shopping around.
Yeah. Definitely.
We have no loyalty to Harrah's other than they've been very good to us up to this point.
Right.
But if this starts to disappear, let's go someplace closer.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It really boils down to we can go to several casinos that we can get to within 15, 20 minutes and not have to drive an hour.
Yep.
And that's a significant difference because it's 45 minutes each way.
Right.
So
that's just to your house.
Yeah.
And to my house.
Right. To your house, it's another 15 minutes.
And the other casinos also by us have better rules.
Right.
5 times odds, 10 times odds. So
right.
Anyway, we're warning you, Harris. Be good to us.
No, we're not warning up. It's just that, seriously.
Honestly,
it has to be worth it for us to go there, right?
It still is, but that rating the other night was a shock. I'm going to mention something next time we go just to, make sure everything's working.
Right. It could have been an anomaly, but it's just kind of sad. And, there's no reason to go dispute it or anything.
No, see, I was thinking the same thing. We go so often. I'm not going to go and raise a fuss about it.
No,
but
and, it would be hard to figure out, and you'd never get anywhere with it anyway.
Right. Yeah, I don't need the headache.
Yeah, and I'd probably turn out to, that I was the one that screwed up.
Yeah, when you were rolling the dice, you were so angry or something, you hit some switch. Nobody noticed.
That'd probably be it.
All right, well, moving on. So the Wizard of Odds recently posted an article about some new side bets that were introduced at the Jack Casino in Cincinnati at the craps tables there. And these bets collectively are called Hot Hand. There's a logo on the table, that says Hot Hand. And they're very similar to the all tall small wagers that we now all know and love, but with some differences to what numbers have to be rolled. So here are the 3 separate bets. Number 1, there's a bet called Flaming 4. That will pay 70 to 1 if 2, 3, 11, and 12 are all rolled before 7.
Just once. Rolled just once.
Well, or any number of times, but each of them has to be rolled at least once, like in the all tall small. But the numbers are 2, 3, 11, and 12, the horn numbers basically. Right. So 70 to 1. A second bet is Sizzling 6. That will pay 12 to 1 if 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10 are all rolled before 7. So those are all the point numbers, all the box numbers.
Right.
So 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. If each of them comes up at least once before 7, pays 12 to 1. And then the third bet is called the hot hand. And this is very similar to the all in the all small tall. It'll pay 80 to 1 if all the numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the numbers are rolled before 7. Pays 80 to 1.
Right.
But it will also pay if only 9 of those numbers are rolled. It'll pay 20 to 1 if only 9 of those 10 numbers are rolled before 7. So that's an interesting little twist, because think of how often you'll be at a table and you'll have the all, and it's like, gosh, all we need is an 11. Well, in this case, maybe all you need is 11, but you're at least going to get something back. You're at least going to get 20 to 1.
Right. Well, in the all tall, all small, I did get something back. I got the all small one.
Well, then in this case, you would have gotten one of these too, right?
Oh, you can get paid on all 3?
Yeah, it's just like the all small tall. It's so 3 different bets.
It's okay. I gotcha. Okay, I thought you just, if they all hit, they paid only the all.
No. These are 3 separate bets, just like the all small and tall are 3 separate bets. Okay. I know, because I'm looking over at you and you're thinking, boy, this is a scam. And I'm thinking, what? I actually thought you might like this.
Well, if you could hit all 3, I guess,
Yeah, so that is the thing, right? If you bet on all 3, if you're hitting the hot roll bet where you have to hit all 10, well, you will have at least hit one of them, the flaming 4 or the sizzling 6. But if you only need one more number for that all, at least you're going to get paid 20 to 1 if you've made the hot hand bet.
Yeah.
And then 80 to 1 if they all come up. That's why it's not as much as the all pays in the all small tall. That pays 150 to 1 is the common payout now. Right. This only pays 80, but it also pays 20 if you only hit 9 of the numbers.
Yeah, but if you hit all 12, you don't get paid for the 9 too.
No, that's correct. Right, you don't get paid for the 9.
So you'd only get the 80 to 1.
Yes, correct.
So let's say you had $5 on there. You get $400 there, and you had $5 on the 70 to 1, so you get $350.
Yep.
So that's $750.
Yeah.
And you'd get 12 times 5, $60. So what is that? $810
for $5 on each of the 3 bets.
Of the 3. Yeah, yes. $810.
Yeah.
And the other way, the all tall, all small, if you bet 5 on each of them, hitting them all, but you'd end up getting $1,050.
$1,050.
So it's so it's a couple $100 more.
It's more. But if you only hit
9,
right? So what's nice about this bet is that it's going to pay off a lot more.
Yeah, it's like a fire bet that pays on 3.
Kind of, yes, exactly. Right. It's it pays right. If you can find a fire bet that pays for 3 numbers, it is comparable to that. But it's nice because 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, that sizzling 6, that's going to happen a lot more often, right? Than the small or the tall,
right?
Because think of how often
usually the 2 and 12,
right?
Yeah, right.
So that's going to be paying off quite a bit more,
right?
So what do you think of this?
Well, you know what comes to my mind immediately?
All right, what's that?
Is how many times I'm on the all tall, all small, and I need like a 2 or a 12 or a 2 and 11 or something, one of those 4 in numbers, right?
Right.
And it just never comes up. Right. But when I'm at stupid Harrah's with the new cards now, 5 3s is 7 out. It seems like, they immediately roll that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. So that didn't even come close to answering my question. What do you think of this bet? What do you think of these 3 bets?
Oh, I like it, of course.
I thought you would.
I like any kind of crazy bet.
And since you kind of misunderstood it at first when I was explaining it,
at first I thought it was like you can bet one of those, and I'm I don't know about that. But betting them all, I like it.
Because when I heard about this, I thought this would be something Dr. Mike would like because it would pay more, and when you only need one number, you're at least going to get something back.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. Although I do kind of like in the all tall, all small how you can put 5, 5, 5. Or some people will do 5 on the small, 5 on the tall, and then put 10 on them all, just in case, right? And this one, the flaming 4 and the sizzling 6 are a little different.
Right, they don't pay the same. Yeah,
the same.
Yeah, they don't pay. But you can still do 5, 5, 5. There's no reason.
I know. Well, I know, but I mean, it'd be nice if they paid the same.
Oh, okay.
Right, if they both paid 70 to 1.
I like the idea of the sizzling 6 just paying a lot more.
That is nice because you do hit that quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, where's
it at?
only at Jack Casino in Cincinnati right now. So we'll see if it spreads. I don't know that it will because all small tall, it's pretty straightforward. People, people can kind of understand it, but I'd like to see this spread.
Yeah. I wonder how they print that on the table.
I'll show you a picture. Yeah, I'll show you the picture.
Because, it could be confusing, right?
Yeah.
Somebody being
if you just go to the Wizard of Odds, also in one of his most recent comments, if you look at like the new area, it's on there, the hot
layout,
the hot hand. But I'll show you after the show. Now, as far as the house edge goes, it's around 20%, which is horrible, but not much different from the current payouts on all small tall, which in most places now it's 30-1 on the small and the tall and 150-1.
Yeah, the good old days are gone on that.
Yeah, so 20%.
So without me looking, just tell me, do they have like a hand on there? It's a hot hand?
No, it's like
a hand with flames coming out of it?
There are flames, but I didn't see a hand.
Oh, okay.
But they're definitely
flames. It'd be nice
flames.
if there's a hand, because Harris Rincon has that. The hand.
Hand?
It's just the middle finger right in the middle of the table.
I understand now. Thanks for listening. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline segment. Remember, call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Andrew.
Hey, Dr. Mike and Mark. This is Andrew from Springfield. I'm going to go by Dr. Andrew now. Wish I was a dentist. I'm just a medical doctor. Funny story about that. My daughter's home from grad school, and she goes down to my basement to go on the treadmill the other day, and she comes up and she goes, Dad, what's the matter with you? The basement looks like a casino. And I had set up a little craps area on a little pool table we have. So I looked at her and I said, honey, someone's got to pay your rent, and I'm not a dentist, so this is how we're doing it now.
Okay.
But anyway,
smart.
Dr. Mike, I wish I was a dentist. So listen, as far as MGM Springfield goes, Adam called last week. There was some concerns, which I wanted to call and basically verify. I've been down there a few times. I live right here, unlike him that has to drive further away to go to the Connecticut casinos. They're farther from me, so I hardly at all ever go down there. But MGM's in my backyard, so I was really looking forward to it. But he's very true in what he says about the stakes at the table games. It's very hard to find tables that I'm comfortable playing. They did start Spanish 21, and I was there the other night, and they had 3 tables open, a 10, a 15, and a 25. The 10 was full. There was no one at the 25 and no one at the 15. There's a lot of empty blackjack tables with just dealers standing there doing nothing. They really are hesitant to go down to $10 or $5 tables at this casino. The crap tables, I've only been there when there's been 2 open, and they've either been 10 or 15 or 15 25s. They have 2 others that are completely empty. I've never seen more than 2 running at a time, and I have not been able to get near them. But one of the issues I had in the last 2 weeks at Video Poker was I was playing, and their poker pay tables are 7.5 unless you play $1. Then you can get it to 8.5. And I was playing a machine, and I was doing okay, and I hit a hold button, the far left button, and the game exited out. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I did something wrong, and I was playing further, and it happened again. So I called the attendant. It took 20 minutes to get somebody to come over. They looked at me like I was crazy. They played with the machine, did a diagnostic, had me play 3 or 4 more hands, which sucked some of my money away, and they wouldn't reimburse me and said that I must have done something wrong. And they just were adamant about not reimbursing me the money that I had lost, and they actually watched me lose more. So the customer service was a little bit suspect there. So for me, it's been a mixed bag. They've made it very difficult to have a comfortable gaming experience, in my opinion. And they've also recently moved their M-Life cage into the cashier cage and made it one area. And now it's one giant line of just mixed bag of customer service for people trying to cash out or go to M-Life, and it's become a mess. So Dr. Mike, I definitely wouldn't waste your time coming up here from Boston. It's about an hour-and-a-half ride, and I think given your history of what you get in Vegas and in Southern California, you'd be a little bit disappointed, although it is a beautiful venue. Anyway, again, I appreciate all your input and all the stories, And you guys have a good day.
Wow. So another negative review of MGM Springfield.
They seem to be pouring in. I got to say, first off, kudos to Andrew for, having a casino in his basement.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like
that's nice. Yeah.
Although when he finally convinces his wife to put it in the living room, then he's my hero.
That's right. Then he wins.
Yeah, then he wins.
He gets an honorary degree in dentistry.
Right. There you go. It's funny because my next door neighbor, Dr. George, he's a general surgeon.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth all the time. I'm like, I wish I was a surgeon. I wish I was a dentist. And we both get home at ungodly hours, so it doesn't really matter.
I think I'd rather be a dentist. I imagine surgery. That scares me.
In some ways.
You probably don't have life and death in your hands too often.
Not too often. Yes. That's our least favorite thing, you and I, is that when they put the cashier
with the Players Club and cashier combined,
together,
that's awful.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they thinking? I know we make fun of that with what are casinos thinking, but come on, that is ridiculous.
It really is.
It creates huge lines, and you're sitting there and you got $40 to cash out because you just lost $5,000, and you're pissed off, and you're thinking, I just want to cash this $40 out so I can go home, and there's some guy in front of you, asking about his free buffet.
Yeah, he needs another card.
Yeah, right. It's just so.
What are my points?
Right. It's so stupid.
Hopefully at MGM Springfield they have a separate line at the cashier for chips only. You do see that sometimes.
But a lot of places they have that, but only at crowded times. So other times they don't have it. Yeah, and my thing is, why not spend a little extra money? I know it's one more employee or another area or something. You spend a little money, but you keep people happy and they come back.
Well,
because look at the reviews we've gotten. Yeah. People are like, I'm not going to go there,
Well, it sounds like they used to have it at a separate window and they combine them.
Right. Probably because save money. They're always looking to save like a few bucks. Yeah. And in the long run, they're probably going to lose money because people aren't going to go as often. They're going to save their money and take a trip to Vegas.
I could go on and on about cashiers. It's my least favorite part of a casino is the cashier area. And even at Harrah's, thank goodness we're 7 stars. We don't have to deal with it too much. But boy, if I were gold or platinum, I'd be furious.
Yes.
When we're there at like midnight and there's 6 windows, but only 3 are open, and there's this huge line. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then as far as the button on the video poker machine, we've all seen that before too, right?
Yeah,
where you're hitting a spot on the screen and it's actually activating, the card next to it or something like that.
Yeah, the registration's off.
Yeah.
And, you got to hit it below or above it or something. Yeah. I hate that too. And that's another thing for customer service. They should have just said, okay, how much could it have been, right?
Yeah, right. He just, $15 maybe, right?
All right, here, here's $20 free play, make the guy happy. Yeah. Why would you even argue that? It's so ridiculously stupid.
Anytime somebody who's in the service industry says, oh, you must have done something wrong.
Right.
Even if it's true, you don't say that to the person.
Right. No, you just go, oh gosh, that's terrible. Here, let's refund that. And then you're going to get their money anyway, right?
Exactly. Right.
So make the guy happy, give him his money. And another thing, I would just look at him and said, oh yeah, this is weird. I've never seen a video poker machine screw up. I mean, how could that happen?
It's me. Thank you for teaching me. All right. Next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Jake from Seattle. First time caller here, but found you guys' podcast. Wanted to become more of a recreational gambler than losing money every time I went to Vegas and actually learn how to play games, and discovered it. Thought it might be fun, so I went and tested it. Yesterday was my first time going to a local casino. Went to Muckleshoot Casino here in King County, Washington, and just want to tell you a little bit how it went. It was pretty fun. I started with a $200 at the blackjack table. I was there with a friend who didn't know how to play craps, so we started with blackjack together, and went up 100 real quick on blackjack. It was actually a lot more luck than I've ever had playing that game, and then decided to go over to craps once the table kind of cooled. And my friend was standing next to me, and he didn't know how to play. So I was trying to explain it to him, doing a terrible job because I'm still very new. This is my first time really playing craps. But I had some luck there playing the pass line and placing the 6 and 8, and went up $100, and then decided to go play some Pai Gow with my friend, and he tried to teach me that. And I'd never played it, so I went down 80. But the real fun of the night, I went back to the craps table and just got on right when this guy started his roll. Didn't bet the all tall or all small, but he ended up hitting pretty close to all of it. But I went up about $500. This was a legendary roll he had, about 20 to 30 rolls. The strategy I was using was the Iron Cross method that I found on the Color Up YouTube channel. And after those had paid out 4 times, I was just really betting the pass line in $10 and $20 bets and using 2 times odds on those, and just kept hitting. And this guy, he gets the all small, and all he needs for the all tall is the 11, and the 11 just won't come. So he decides right before one of his next rolls, which ended up being his last roll, that he wanted new dice. So they give him 2 new dice. The first roll, he ends up 7ing out, which, everybody at the table was just felt for him, man, because he just didn't think that those dice were going to give him 11, so he switches to another one and 7s out. But overall, it was a great night. I went down a little bit after that, but ended up from my $200 initial investment. I walked out of there with $667 on my first trip to the casino, trying to be more of a recreational gambler. Love the podcast, guys. Love listening to you guys. Thanks for the great content. Appreciate it.
Good, great. Congratulations, Jake. We always encourage educated recreational gambling. So we know we're playing negative EV games, but as long as you know what the odds are, that's the important thing.
You're willing
and
to
you're
take a little
fun.
risk and have some fun.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you change dice, if you 7 out, everybody's pissed off. If the dice go off the table and you ask for same dice and you 7 out, everyone's pissed off because why didn't you get new dice?
Well, no. Let me disagree with you a little bit.
No,
okay?
I mean, at Harris, they do. A lot of people he should have got new dice.
Okay, but in most cases,
they want the same
dice. So I will go along with some of these superstitions at the table just to keep the people happy at the table. Yeah. So if I'm in the middle of a hot roll and I do roll the dice off the table, I will say same dice. Not because I believe that's important, but because there are people at the table who believe it.
I know you believe that you think you're saying the right thing.
But asking for new dice, when is that ever the right thing to do? Because 1 out of 6 times, you're going to immediately 7 out. And then it's like, why did you ask for new dice? What was the reason?
I'll tell you what, I'm laughing so hard. Because they switched the cards at Harris, right, to the thing.
Yeah. I'm
going to ask for new dice every roll. I'm going to roll them. And then if I don't 7 out, give me 2 new ones.
All right.
And just all night long.
I'm going to try to hold them to this, folks.
Boy, would that piss some people off or what?
The only time I could see somebody do it, and again, it doesn't matter, but let's say it's a brand new shooter and he's rolled like 3 craps in a roll.
Right.
And he doesn't have any hedge bets or anything. He's just losing his pass line bet. Okay, he asked for new dice. Big deal. What's the worst that could happen, right? He rolls another craps, right? It's like, well, there's nothing you could have done.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, but dice don't matter, okay?
In the middle of a roll, though, the only upside is that if you immediately roll the point, and the downside, which is more likely to happen, is you roll a 7. It's like everybody looks at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, and you know as well as I do, it doesn't really matter.
Of course not.
But of course, everyone's pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As would I be.
And some people, just a little like, but some people really get pissed off.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
We've seen that. Now, the other night when I rolled and you put your hands on the table, right? You're right next to me. You put your hands out. And so, the dice hit your hand.
I don't know why you were trying to roll the guy.
They gave me the dice. That's why I was rolling.
That guy slid that money there and he's like, oh, that's yours. And I'm like, no, it's not. And, it wasn't mine. And I'm trying to give it back to him. And then you roll, it hits my hand.
They gave me the roll. And the end of the story there, folks, is it was a 7 out. So
yeah.
There you go.
It was my hand.
Was I mad?
It. No,
not at all.
You made a smart comment.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did.
I think I said something like, well, that happens.
No, that was definitely not what you said.
All right, let's hear from our buddy Taylor.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Taylor from New Mexico. There are a lot of times I think about calling in, but, just can't call in when I'm sober. But right now I'm sitting at Pal Station and watching Arizona State Oregon semifinal game of the Pac-12 tournament, playing video poker. And there's a player named Rémy Martin. I just got a shot of Rémy Martin. I'm going to take a sip of it every time Rémy Martin scores. So that's the thing for, there's Rémy Martin. Anyway. Also, you can take a shot every time Shaq Buchanan and Sean Buchanan score, who are brothers, for Murray State and New Mexico State. Anyway, Love your podcast. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in May. Bye.
What do you think Rémy Martin's parents were thinking?
I have heard of a lot of people named Rémy Martin.
Really?
Yeah, it seems to be not that uncommon.
Well, that's what I was drinking when I got pregnant, so I think Rémy Martin's going to be.
Yeah, so those unfamiliar, Rémy Martin is a cognac, right? Kind of a very famous champagne cognac. So, no, it seems to come up a lot right here. Oh, yeah, Rémy Martin. That rings a bell.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it sounds like Taylor had a really good time there. We are recording this while round 1 of March Madness is still going on. So, again, when this episode is actually released, rounds 1 and 2 will already be over. But we're right in the middle of round 1. Boy, New Mexico State, Taylor, they almost won today. My gosh, that was such an exciting ending. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Well, at the end, we'll talk about it. But
okay.
Honestly, I don't, everyone's going with Duke, of course, and some people with Gonzaga. I don't think either one of them.
All right, let's talk about it afterwards. Yeah. And keeping in mind that your comments might be completely meaningless by the time the episode's actually released.
Yeah, that's true.
Who you're talking about might be eliminated.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
I'm talking about pre-tournament. These are my pre-tournament picks.
Okay, all right. Next up, our buddy Robin.
Well, hello, gentlemen. This is Robin from Connecticut at Anytime Gambling, and I just wanted to share something and just add a few things. First of all, I went to Plainridge for our Northeast Summit. It was actually just to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And we ate at Plainridge, and the three of us were just going to basically play a little and then go. And I didn't have much money, so I did try looking around, and I found a $5 3-card poker electronic machine because Plainridge is slots only. It was the first casino in Massachusetts. So I just played $5 and I played the $5 bonus, and well, half hour later I couldn't believe it. I had hit flushes and a straight flush and whatever. I had built $20 into $600. And I vowed never to play these particular machines, but it was an amazing 20 minutes or 20, 30 minutes. It was a lot of fun. So maybe I'll try it again. And just two quick things. When you have your voicemail, not only are the voicemails really interesting, but I just love listening to the two of you talk after the voicemail. And I think that's just really even more interesting to hear your take on everything. And finally, if I don't know if I can do this now, but if Adam from Connecticut would please get in touch with me, I'm interested to hear about his experiences at MGM Springfield. All right. Sorry to not be able to see you in Boston there, Dr. Mike. Miss you guys. It won't be a Gamblepalooza, but I'm sure I'll see you soon. Take care. Love everything you do. Bye-bye.
Yeah. The thing is with 3-card poker, if you don't get really good hands as you're playing, you kind of lose money. But if you can just get 3 of a kind, straight flush, things like that, that's where you make your money, especially if you're playing all the bets. Right. Because just beating the dealer, you're not really winning that much money. You don't
win that much money.
Especially if you're making all the side bets and everything.
Right.
So
you might be losing money.
Yeah, so that's great. $20 to $600 for a game that he normally wouldn't play.
That's unbelievable, actually. Yeah. Robin, he was a little excited, it sounded like, but I would be a lot more excited if I turned 20 into 600.
Well, he probably was very excited at the time.
Yeah, because I mean that's really an impressive win.
So he was asking Adam to contact him, maybe Andrew, whose call we heard earlier. Might want to contact him too about the bad experiences at MGM Springfield. So Robin runs a website called Anytime Gambling. That's the letter N and the letter E, stands for New England or Northeast, but New England Time Gambling.com. Go there, or on Twitter too. He's at Anytime Gambling. So again, Adam and Andrew, if you're interested in contacting him, because he writes articles about the casinos up there all the time.
Right. Yeah. It'd be good he'd probably like to get their take on it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Last call from Bob.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Bob from Portland, Maine. New listener, loving your show. I've been playing craps up at Oxford Casino. It's been a lot of fun. The craps crew up there, super helpful, really friendly. Just been having a blast. Couple of things. One, I've been playing I'm sure you've seen the video. You've probably covered this in earlier podcasts, but playing the system where I put the $10 pass line, number comes out, and the 75 DC, and then play the numbers, and go from there. And you've seen the video where the guy wins 4,000, whatever. But first 5 trips, I won on 4, so I'm like, this is great. And then hit a bit of a dry spell and have been losing. So I'm right around 500. So question to you guys. what do you think of that system? Is it worth it? I'm still having fun with it, still trying to figure out all the nuances. And then 2, for your careers, where do you guys shake out as far as win-losses? Are you guys 50-50, 60-40, anything around there? Anyway, love the show. You guys ever come to Maine, lobsters are on me. Take care, guys.
Well, as far as our lifetime of gambling goes, well, just overall, we're down a ton of money.
Yeah, a ton.
How about that?
A ton.
Now, if you're actually talking about, sessions, is it like 50-50 on winning and losing sessions? I don't really keep track of that too much. I guess
I'd say it'd be more like 35-65.
Something like the win-loss, something like that. But some of the wins are real big. So, it's hard to...
It's hard to tell.
It's a hard question.
A lot of times when I win, it's big wins.
Yeah.
And then, losses can be from little to a lot.
Yeah. But we're recreational gamblers. We're not going to claim like we're ahead. No, we're down. Yeah. We've been playing for a while. Now, as far as this system that Bob's talking about, for people who aren't familiar, basically the strategy is this. You put like $10 on the pass line. And then once a point is established, on that second roll, you make a $75 don't come bet.
Right.
Okay. And once that roll, as long as that roll is not a 7, that's going to go up to a number.
Yeah, if it's a 7, you lost both bets.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's what you have to avoid in this system,
right.
is that 7 on the second roll. That's what really kills you. But if you survive that, then the system is to place all the remaining numbers and then start making come bets. The idea is that if it's a hot roll's going on, you'll be able to take advantage of it. But then if a 7 comes out, you've got more money on that don't come bet than anything else. And so that'll, kind of cover everything.
So your place bets afterwards would be like $10 place bets.
Yes. Oh, right. Everything else is $10. Right. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Everything else is just around $10. Right.
Right. So you've got like
so 10 on the
40,
line, 75 on whatever other number comes up for the don't, and then just $40 on the rest of the numbers.
42 or whatever.
Yeah,
So
right.
so you'd have like 50 something and 75, and if the third roll's a 7, you're golden.
Yeah. But the problem is getting past that second roll. There are plenty of 1 out of every 6 times that second roll is going to be a 7 out.
Yeah. Well, what if the third roll is your don't come number and you lose the 75,
right?
And then the next roll is your 7 out.
So there you go. Right. Exactly. There you go. Do you make another don't come?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like any other system, and it sounds like Bob. It sounds like you're having a good time with. And that's all we say. If you're having fun, and you're winning,
well, and it's fun to experience different systems.
Yeah.
I mean, play that for a while. Look how often I change.
Sure,
right?
sure.
You get tired of something. I'm going to try something new tonight. And then, it fails miserably or it works good. You know?
So, I mean, that's all we're going to say. And all I would add is that some of those place bets have high house edges. So that's not very good. And in the video, I'll post a link to the video so people can watch it too. The guy also talks about hedging bets every once in a while with, an 11 or a hardway or something like that. Well, they have high house edges. So that's what's going to eat you up.
Right.
More than anything else.
Yeah. It seems like the thing you wouldn't want to do in that system because your wins are going to be small. I mean, per shooter. Right.
Yeah. Unless everything happens, just absolutely perfectly.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I want to say one thing. First of all, I want to go to Maine so bad.
Yeah. Well,
I'd love to go to Maine.
We jokingly talked about it when we went to Gamblepalooza last year. Of course, there's no way we were going to go up there. But
I want to see Maine. And also I want to say, hi, Bob.
Do I need to take a drink right now?
No, that's just for my daughters because we have a neighbor named Bob who walks a lot.
Oh.
And whenever we see him walking, I roll down the window and yell out, hi, Bob.
Oh, no.
And they think that's hilarious.
I thought that was a throwback to the old Bob Newhart show.
No, right? Yeah,
where you take
a drink every time. Yeah, no. It's just that our neighbor's named Bob.
Oh, okay.
And they get a kick out of me rolling it out and yelling real loud, hi, Bob.
Well, gosh, speaking of Gamblepalooza, it's hard to believe we only have one more episode until Gamblepalooza. And it's going to come out the day before we actually leave.
Right. It's going to come out right. We leave on Friday, right?
Yeah.
It'll come out Thursday.
Yeah. So here it comes.
It'll be my Gamblepalooza predictions.
Oh, on that next episode?
Yeah.
Great.
It won't all be about the gambling.
Okay,
I might have some predictions.
I
got
to write a couple things down here. Gamblepalooza predictions for the next show. That should be easy to remember. And you're going to ask for new dice every roll.
Every roll.
At the casino, right?
At least during one of my rolls.
Okay. All right. You're a big man there. They'll probably put up with it. Maybe for a little while. Depends on who the pit is.
I don't know. I don't think I'd put up with it.
You'll get tired of it. You just ask for new dice 7 out.
Yeah, right.
Every time.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I know kind of a short one, but that's what happens when we've been recording 3 weeks in a row here. So, how much material do we have?
That's why I can't get well. It's just too many. It's too big a
grueling.
grind, Mark.
No, I understand.
The work I put into this? Oh, my God.
Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations, specifically recurring donations from Brian Dancer. Thanks very much. And also from Brian and Sarah. Thank you. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. All right, folks, so keep in mind, these words coming out of Dr. Mike's mouth right now are right in the middle of round 1 of March Madness. So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, but I haven't watched any of the games, and I've only looked at my phone to see like who won games.
Yeah.
But, and I said this before the tournament started the other day, anybody can pick Gonzaga, anybody can pick Duke, especially Duke. I mean, they've got the best player in the country, right?
Okay.
And they're a great team, and they have a history of winning and everything. But honestly, I don't think either one of those teams is going to win it all this year. Okay. I'm going with Kentucky.
Okay.
I like their road to the Final Four.
Okay.
First of all, Duke and Gonzaga are on the other side.
Right. Okay.
So I think they have an easier route, and I think they can easily beat North Carolina, who's the number 1 in their seed. They're number 2. Mm-hmm. And I like them to get to the finals and win it all.
Okay. So Kentucky. So
yeah. I apologize to every Kentucky fan in America who I just jinxed.
Right. They're listening to this on Thursday, right?
Well, I think Kentucky won today.
Okay.
So they're okay, at least for the first round.
Okay.
But no, honestly, I seriously, I think Kentucky's the team. It's just too easy to say Duke.
All right. So you just don't like taking the easy route.
I don't like taking the easy route. I mean, they're the best team. It's like, saying the Yankees are going to win another World Series. Well, yeah, they're going to.
Yeah. So have a good vacation. I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
Anything else before we call it?
Well, you know what's going to happen between now and the next time is baseball season's going to start.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. By the time we release our next episode.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we release our next episode, the Padres should have a firm grasp on last place.
Okay. Very good. Another prediction. We'll see how it turns out.
And I'm just praying one year they win it all. Yeah. I mean, if they do, obviously I'll have to pass away.
It's the only thing we have to live for at this point.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Right.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Mark, that was wonderful. I had no idea you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.